What's going on, guys? I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, frontproofmedia.com. Check out Evil Intoxicated up on YouTube, right down below. Subscribe down below. We do that show live every Wednesday night. Also, Pure Evil MMA is now up on running on iTunes and Podbean.com. We are no longer with Professional Wrestling Authority. We are up and running on our own. There's going to be some big changes being made, and hopefully some money. So that would be awesome. So definitely subscribe down below. It would help us a lot if you guys gave us 5 stars on iTunes. And we are about to see one hell of a crazy night. Paige Van Zant versus Michelle, the Karate Hottie Watterson. It's going to be out of control. Perfect matchup for Paige this year. Of course, she was on Dancing with the Stars. And then for that, she had her first loss in the UFC against Rose Namajunas. So then she comes back in, beats Beck Rawlings with the kick the can kick. Now it's like, what's next for her? The Karate Hottie, who's making her debut. Now, if the Karate Hottie can make her debut and beat Paige Van Zant, I think that's why they might have set this up, because Karate Hottie will be a great person to, we've been familiar with her for years. I actually got to talk with her on Cage Side Submissions a couple of weeks ago. And I asked her about that. I was like, how much of, the pretty looks and all that, do you think it really does play a role when they make this, the matchmaking? She said she didn't really want to answer the question, but she does know that it's there. There's something there with that. And we all know that. I think we all know that. So this is like the pretty boy, pretty girl card, because below that, which I felt a little disrespectful, Sage Northcutt versus Mickey Gall. How can you have that as your co-main event when you have Uriah, the California Kid, Faber, retiring tonight? Why are you doing that? That makes no sense. That's almost like a spit in the face. They talked about it on the MMA Hour. I know that you guys have been talking about it on Reddit, Twitter.com. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at Pure Evil MMA over there. And honestly, guys, I think that's a huge spit in the face. I mean, Uriah Faber doesn't seem like he has a problem with that. But really quick, before I tell you who I think is going to win these 3 fights, which we're going to see in a couple of minutes, let's hear what Mr. Judd had to say.
What's going on, guys? It's Juddo here, bringing you my fight predictions for Fight Night Sacramento. All right, we got first up Brian Barberena. He's a big underdog in this one, but I reckon he's definitely going to get a decision win in this one for sure. Cole Miller, I reckon, is going to get the win, but he was talking shit the other day about retiring or something, so I don't know if his head's in the game or not, so he could lose that. Mike Perry, Joban. Oh, fuck, that's going to no distance there. That's first round, second round, KO to either one of them. I'm undecided. I don't have a clue who's going to win that, but it's definitely a KO there. Uriah Faber should win in his final fight, but one punch, I love that lad, so it's always going to be a good fight when he's involved, so we'll see how he goes. Super Sage versus, what's his name? I can't even remember his name now. Mickey Gall. Yeah, that's a flip of the coin, that one. So, yeah, I don't even know. That's a flip of the coin. Another flip of the coin, 12 gauge versus the Karate Hottie. No clue on what I'm going there, but 12 gauge have been looking pretty good lately, so maybe just splurge out on her. Anyway, I'm going to throw it back to Eddie, and cheers for listening to us.
Thanks, guys. That was Mr. Judd. Definitely give him a follow on Twitter. I will give you his Twitter tag in just a second at the end of the show. I'll have that up for you. But you know what? I thought this was so disrespectful of the UFC to have Uriah Faber, and they did barely any advertising for it at all. Uriah Faber, not even the co-main event, and it's his retiring night. Excuse me, but I remember when I was growing up, at least my generation of fight fans, I know there's 4 or 5 different generations of them, but, coming up and coming in around, the time of Uriah Faber and watching Dominic Cruz, Jose Aldo, Cub Swanson, and all of them in the WEC. And then it's a familiar face that helped us grow with the company. And Uriah Faber is part of the family. I'm not saying it's the last time we're going to see him, but I just thought it was a little disrespectful. Not only was this a free card, but now you don't even have him as the co-main event on the free card. You couldn't even put him as the main event of the Fight Pass prelims. For the prelims, that would even be more disrespectful, honestly. He should have at least had the co-main event, not Mickey Gall and Sage Northcutt. This is just like the pretty boy, pretty girl. And I'm not taking anything away from these guys. These are all warriors. All these fighters, I have so much respect for all these guys. But I'm just saying, I think they would all agree, actually. I think Paige, Karate Hottie, Sage, and Mickey Gall, if they could have made this card right, it would be Uriah Faber, Pickett, number 1. So make sure you guys give Judd a follow. I'll have his Twitter tag in a minute. Follow us at Pure Evil MMA on Twitter. The fights are going down right now. And 12 gauge Paige Van Zant with a record of 7-2 going up against the Karate Hottie 13-4. This is going to be an exciting fight. We are very familiar with the Karate Hottie, what she can do. If Paige Van Zant beats the Karate Hottie tonight, that would be huge. That would be huge to build her career up over. Because if you look at her record, she doesn't have any names where like she has great fights. She puts on great fights. She's a scrapper, has amazing striking. She's flexible. We all have seen that in the Rose Namajunas fight. But there's no real big names. Like she has the flashy stuff, the kick the can kick against Beck Rawlings. She just won Dancing with the Stars. That's huge. That's huge. This is all stuff that the UFC is looking at, and they know that there's a pretty penny there, especially with selling her face. She's a pretty girl. We're not hiding anything. If she can get a win over the Karate Hottie, it's just going to be huge. Huge. So follow Mr. Judd at Judo's Back. That's at JUDDOSBACK. That was actually him down from Aussie. Down below. Down under, mate. Gotta love it. We have people from all over the world. Minion McGrunnin over from France. If you guys are just tuning in, I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA. FrontProofMedia.com, covering all your MMA needs. Predictions are always up on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook as well. So then we have Sage Northcutt versus Mickey Gall. Both these guys found on the Ultimate Fighter. I said it was perfect. This is like the heartthrob fight. This was like the Twilight Team Edward, Team Werewolf or whatever it was. And it was just like, we got the boyfriend fight. We got Paige Van Zant, Karate Hottie. And then we have Sage Northcutt versus Mickey Gall. All we know is there's going to be no love making tonight. And that's what we know about this one. But both. And then you have our boy Alan Jouban on the card as well, going up against Mike Perry. That's going to be one hell of a fight, without a doubt. And that's actually going to be going down very shortly. So we're going to catch back to that. But Sage Northcutt, I'm kind of leaning towards Sage, but we watched him get choked out against Bam Bam, who just fought. I don't think he just won. I just saw from Luke Thomas that it was scored 30-27 in his opinion. So doesn't look too good for Bam Bam. But Bam Bam had to win over Sage. Bam Bam had to win over Sage, but then Sage showed that picture of his throat, and he had strep throat or whatever. He blamed it on that. Mickey Gall's been going in there doing the same thing every time he fights. First round, rear naked choke. But the argument is he's been fighting people like MMA photographer. No love off my back though. Mike the Truth Jackson. He's a great guy. Not many people do what he does. But I'm saying he's not fighting superstar names. And I'm not saying Sage is. I think Sage is a good even match with him, but this is going to be a good test for him. And I think Mickey Gall is going to put up a one hell of a test, one hell of a fight. This kid's determined. He really wants to prove himself in the UFC. He doesn't want to be known as the kid who beat CM Punk. He wants to be known and fight the greatest. And, Sage Northcutt's a good little step up for him, in my opinion. I think that's a perfect fight. This was what you needed to do next with both these guys. People say you're sacrificing a lamb by doing that, but and you know what? I am a little upset. I thought there would be more promotion for this. I thought they'd build this up more. You have Uriah Faber retiring tonight. Paige Van Zant, of course, they did a great amount of promoting for her, but not much for these guys. And the stories are all there. The stories are all there. I love that it's a free card, like Ted would say. If it's free, it's for me, but I think they could have done more. I'm going to get back into the other studio and watch the rest of these fights, keep them up with you. My predictions: Paige Van Zant gonna lose, get the L against Karate Hottie. I'm pulling for the Karate Hottie tonight. I think that it's gonna be a huge striking match, and I think one of them's gonna get rocked. I think we're gonna have to wait and see. The girls always put up one hell of a fight. Always promise you that. And Paige, if she gets a highlight reel tonight, it's gonna do so much for her career. Her career is gonna skyrocket, and it already has. Sage Northcutt, Mickey Gall. I got Sage Northcutt. Uriah Faber, Brad Pickett. Like Judo was saying, like Judd was saying, one punch. It's always good for a win. He's hot and cold. He was always good for a win. Uriah Faber, his retirement fight. Of course, we want to root for him. I'm rooting for him. I got Faber winning. Maybe not by knockout. It's 3 rounds, guys. So I'm pulling maybe a decision. I would love to see if Faber could finish it. I would hate to see if Faber gets finished. That's it. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, frontproofmedia.com. You guys have a great night and behave yourselves.